credit ESPN. They have no shame. ESPN, it's really funny to me what they're trying to do. As the, quote, antidote to the woke media and woke sports, well, who is the woke media and who is the woke sports? It's ESPN. The white dudes in Building 4 are scared to death to be called racist. The women of ESPN, the incredibly brilliant women of ESPN. Andrea Carter just came on the scene like a year ago, and nobody could pick her out of a lineup. Caitlin Clark, quote, stole storyline. You know what Caitlin Clark did? She went out and played basketball. ESPN does not care about talent. They care about how you look. The people of ESPN, it's really funny to me what they're trying to do. You know, we talk about ESPN here all the time because they're so ridiculous. And as the, quote, antidote to the woke media and woke sports, well, who is the woke media and who is the woke sports? It's ESPN. All right, the network has unveiled a female-led sports show titled Vibe Check because the thing here is that Elle Duncan, Andrea Carter, and Chinny Chimichanga are vibe people. They're cool people. They're vibing all the time. Vibe check. It's really kind of funny. I get a kick out of it. It's exclusively on Disney Plus in June, hosted by the three that I mentioned. Vibe check. Because, well, I mean, it can't be about sports. We're vibing. Look how cool us three crazy-ass women are. All right. Well, these women, if you really take a look at them, why are they famous? They're famous through blatant jealousy, pettiness in their coverage towards Caitlin Clark. And when they're not ganging up on Clark, they lecture you with their woke America messaging. Now, nobody knows who these women are. You know Elle Duncan from SportsCenter. Andrea Carter says she played somewhere. I think it was Tennessee, but she got hurt. And then the other one, Chimichanga's sister's pretty good. I think she was pretty good. But I don't know. But their woke political messaging is beautiful. And if you are an African-American, which I think the three are, I'm not sure what Elle is, and Andrea, may be light-skinned. I don't know. But anyway, if you are African-American and you are a woman and you do, and you're not afraid to speak out and, do your thing, well, you get a show. You do. I think I'd rather have a root canal than watch these three clowns try to, do something. They put Andrea Carter as a DEI hire on game day, on the game day set for men's basketball, and she's terrible. And she's arrogant, too. She calls Jimmy Pitaro Jimmy. Jim and I. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I would rather have a root canal by a toddler than watch this. I would. But credit ESPN, they have no shame. And as we've said before, everybody, and I do mean this literally, everybody at ESPN knows it is not performance-based. And that's how these three have jobs. ESPN is true to women's sports, ESPN said, not new to women's sports, and our commitment is fueled by the growth of ESPN, is fueling the growth of ESPN. No, it's not. ESPN subscribers are down. The stock is down for Disney. It's not growing. Last year, fans spent 54% more time watching. That includes the WNBA, college basketball, gymnastics, volleyball, and tennis. That's what Elle Duncan has to say. Now, we all know not to trust Elle Duncan. Elle Duncan isn't trusted because, of course, she famously made it up that there was a bill in Florida that said don't say gay. That was not true. And she and others delayed college basketball on ESPN, women's college basketball, to give their ridiculous, lying, well, at the very least, dishonest point of view. And ESPN allowed it. Why? I've told you why. The white dudes in Building 4 are scared to death to be called racist. They are. They don't want you or me watching. They don't care who watches. They don't care who's talented. And I got all kind of text messages from all kinds of ESPN talent, black and white, telling me the same thing. It is not performance-based. It is how you look. It is your diversity. Anyway, we are incredibly excited to launch this new show, which will provide a powerful, now it's powerful, it's a vibe, but it's powerful, a powerful platform for the brilliant women of ESPN. I told you about the brilliant women, right? I told you. Lady called me up, Stephanie Drewley, big woman, big in charge at ESPN when I was having an issue. Dan, the women of ESPN are upset. I go, lady, let me tell you something. Woman who's still on college basketball, married mother of 2 children. She's currently, and I told the lady her name, is currently having an affair with the married Indianapolis Star columnist, 2 children. Don't tell me about the women of ESPN. That is always my reaction to the women of ESPN. Yeah, your college basketball or college football writer with 2 kids, married, stupping. The Indy Star columnist with 2 kids on the side. And don't tell me they weren't, because I was there. Not when they were actually, but dealing with one of their issues. It's really kind of funny. The women of ESPN, the incredibly brilliant women of ESPN. Right. Anyway, the voices that will be leading the program have long been shaping the sports landscape. Andrea Carter just got there. Jimmy Changa acts like an idiot when she comes on a set. I was with her. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I actually listened to her as we were doing Sports Center one time, and she didn't have anything to say that was interesting other than acting like a fool. I don't know. Hey, but again, it does not matter. Performance does not matter at ESPN. Talent does not matter. It does if you're a white dude. Now, Peter Schrager is going to add value to ESPN as a white dude. It did when I was there, as a white dude, as their best college basketball analyst. And I'm not even mad about it. It's a bit of a turning the tables. You know, African Americans said for years, we got to be better to just get a shot. And they were probably right. Now, white dude, you got to be better to just get a shot. And I ain't mad about it, not even a little. But don't throw this shit down my throat all the time. And frankly, I'm not even mad they have this show. I mean, I've always said this. Put any show you want on. It's up to me whether I watch it. But I do think it's funny they make these 3 women out to be heroes. Andrea Carter just came on the scene like a year ago. And nobody could pick her out of a lineup. But that's all right. Now they'll have this additional platform to bring their unique insights to the forefront in an even more impactful way for Disney subscribers. That's Burke Magnus, one of the guys in Building 4, who is trying so desperately, Burke Magnus is. I know Burke Magnus, trying so desperately to hold on if he can, to those stock options that are getting smaller. Hold on if he can, to that 401k. His goal in life is not to go by way of Norby Williamson, that got unceremoniously booted for standing up to Pat McAfee, which was stupid, but for standing up. You don't stand up to the talent, particularly the diverse talent. You don't. If you do, you end up on FanDuel, like Norby Williamson, a legend in the halls of ESPN. But hey, let's check. Let's check the trio behind the vibe. Here it is. L. Duncan arrested for DUI. No kidding, in 2013. I'm telling you right now. I said this before, and I'll say this again. When Jalen Rose got arrested for DUI, everybody in that building knew that would be your last time on ESPN. He was back and better than ever. Accused Caitlin Clark of stealing storylines. This is their vibe. This is the shit I'm really pissed off about. L. Duncan Caitlin Clark, quote, stole storyline. You know what Caitlin Clark did? She went out and played basketball. From other NBA players, and infamously held a moment of silence in response to Florida's Parental Rights in Education Act, which basically said to parents, hey, man, we're going to protect your kid. She perpetuated the don't say gay little rhyme. It's cute that she rhymes. She's like Kamala Harris. She rhymes. Good for her. This is a horrible person. No, it is. And I don't care what anybody says. Andrea Carter is just nondescript. Andrea Carter is the prototypical, yeah, she got a job. She's a little bit cute. You know, says she played basketball at Tennessee. Somebody hired her because, well, she's African-American and, you know, kind of hot. Anyway, she claimed the WNBA wasn't against Caitlin Clark, supported Caitlin Clark being left off the Olympic team because she was unwilling to sacrifice her knowledge and integrity in terms of the game for marketing purposes. I love when little girls try so hard. She tries so hard. The people that work with her just laugh. You can't take her serious. You just laugh. You're like, really? Okay. Andrea Carter is the epitome. She is the poster woman for ESPN. Does not, and I mean this in all honesty from the people there, care about talent. They care about how you look. Repeatedly defended the player assaults of Clark on the court. She's a racist. I mean, what else you want me to tell you? Nondescript. Nobody really cares. Why is she there? You know why she's there. Racist. Timmy Ogwu Mike. Ogwu, I don't know her name. Mocked Caitlin Clark's popularity while being interviewed as a guest on Angel Reese's podcast. Constantly is deflecting credit to the old heads of the WNBA when discussing Caitlin Clark's impact on the league, and uses her ESPN appearance to lecture the audience on her More Than a Vote initiative. More than a vote. I mean, she's so liberal, but you know what? I get it. I do. I get it. She smiles. She looks the part, and away we go. Nothing makes me want to pay for Disney Plus more than the new show led by Elle Duncan, Andrea Carter, and Chinny, I don't know her last name. Yeah, they're vibing. We can't wait to be vibing. At some point, you got to just laugh. Seriously, at some point, you go, good for you. Good for you. Burke Magnus, you got it, man. I think with this show, you have broken new ground, and people are going to flock to Disney Plus to see these three women tell us about what? Exactly. Dakich, you're a hater. Dakich, you're jealous. Yes. No, I'm tired of bullshit. I mean, let's just get that out of the way. I'm tired of bullshit. I'm tired of turning on my game day show, and I want to hear dudes or women actually that know shit, not Andrea Carr. I'm tired of bullshit. I'm tired of having ESPN's woke bullshit thrown down my throat. And I'm tired of their victimhood. I'm tired of all their bullshit. And if you don't understand that, good. Write it in your article. Criticize me. Do whatever you'd like. I'm tired of bullshit. And I'm tired of those three. Enjoying the show so far? Having a little fun, are you? See, I'm back. I'm vibrant today. A little under the weather, but we'll get over it. Of course you are. Make sure you head on over to youtube.com/@OutKick/videos to like, comment, subscribe. You'll never miss any of the action. It's me. It's all the guys, gals. Stephen A. Smith, I don't understand this. This is just so stupid. But this is the way, again, ESPN rolls. Stephen A. Smith says the Mavericks should draft Cooper Flagg because Texas likes white people. Texas loves Michael Irvin. Texas loves Emmitt Smith. Texas does love Dirk Nowitzki. You know what they all got? They won a championship. Race will almost certainly be a part of the discussion because the idiots at ESPN, the idiots in the African-American media can't stand that white dudes are playing basketball. Like, all right, let's get this out of the way. I've dealt with this my entire life. As the best basketball player in Northwest Indiana, a 95% black community of Gary, and I whooped everybody's ass, I've dealt with all the bullshit my whole life. Now, I really have. Two things happen. One, as a white dude, you go to the park, you go on Broad Street in Griffith, you go to the Spectrum in Gary Projects, you go to Gary Roosevelt, you go to Maryville High School to play. You get a lot of respect because I would whoop everybody's ass. So that's one. Two, then you get the guys that don't really play, but they think you're a white dude, so they're going to challenge you. Gunshots did ring out one time when I was playing in the Spectrum in Gary. That's okay, though. Guy went and got his gun, came back, wasn't mad at me. He was just mad. Came back on his motorcycle, started shooting in the air. Next thing you know, my sorry ass was under a park bench going, holy shit. So I understand all the white boy stuff. I understand all the stupid. But it's always from those that can't play. And Stephen A. Smith could never play. And that's the backstory to this as I get into it. It's always the backstory. Guys that can play, guys that coach, guys that understand, never, ever, ever discuss it like this. They talk about ball. You never hear of Michael Jordan. You never heard of Kobe. You never heard any of the greats talk like this. Insecure guys do. You never even hear LeBron, Steph, none of the recent guys, KD talk like this. But it's always guys that couldn't play. So they don't understand. When they went to the park, they weren't in the games. They would see a guy like me staying on the court, dominating everybody's ass. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you the way it was. So don't at me with this bullshit that Stephen A. Smith says here. Race will almost certainly be part of the discussion by morons. See, guys that are real players don't. And this is going to Dallas Mavericks' first pick of the draft, Cooper Flagg. With the first overall pick, he was picked. Certain players and commentators still get past the idea of a modern-day white superstar. Yeah, they can. Players can. This week on First Take, Stephen A. Smith encouraged the Mavs not to trade the pick because Dallas fans are drawn to white athletes. I'm telling you, you never hear this from actual players. They may joke about it on a podcast with another player. Man, that white boy can ball. Man, that white boy, blah, 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 blah. But guys like Smith bring this in because they don't truly understand the dynamic. Now, I'm 62 years old. I'm talking about 40, 45 years ago. 17 years old to 22 years old before I really stopped playing on playgrounds. Stopped going into gear. Stopped going to West Side High School. All right? But I still understand it. Here's Smith showing you he has no idea relative to actually being a player inside of basketball.
Super Flagg and then everybody else. When you got somebody with that kind of potential and they're white and you are in America, you keep that dude. You keep it. I'm telling you right now, with my black self, I'm the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. I ain't thinking about drafting somebody else. I'm not thinking about moving Cooper Flagg. I'm grabbing Cooper Flagg. He's the number one overall pick. I mean, just think about the marketing. Do you know I saw some commercial? I forgot whether it was a commercial, an endorsement deal, or whatever. Do you know he had the American flag behind him? Just think about that. Think about the marketability. I'm not talking about just keeping him because he's white. I'm saying the brother can play. He's a special talent. And then when you think about it, they just let go of Luka. So you can't let go. And let's call it what it is. Jerry Jones taught me this. This is what I learned from him. When I say this kind of stuff, I get this kind of stuff from Jerry Jones. When I say, we're talking about Texas. That's Jerry Jones right there. That's what Jerry Jones reminded me. This is Texas. It's a little bit different. True story. This actually happened. I'm in Austin, Texas last year, South by Southwest. I'm in my hotel room. I've never seen this happen in my life. I'm watching an episode of Martin. Martin Lawrence, great comedic genius that he is. And in the middle of the episode, the program gets interrupted so they can air the national anthem with the American flag on the screen. I've never seen that happen in my life. It was on television. That's what happened, okay? Texas is different. And in Dallas, Texas, if you got an opportunity to get Cooper Flagg, you take Cooper Flagg, especially when you just let go of Luka Doncic. And especially when everybody's talking about him, best potential to be the best white American player since Larry Bird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some guy that never played talking. Yeah, I mean, the national anthem, what was he up at 5 in the morning? Sometimes at 5 in the morning, programming goes off. I mean, hey, I'm all in, man. I'm all in. And guys that they don't understand it. In text, no, you took him because he's a great player. You're not afraid to get rid of white players, as they did with Doncic. But I get it. Somehow the American flag behind you is a bad. I didn't understand. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, maybe, I don't know, Saquon Barkley wrapping himself in the American flag would be a good thing. Maybe more people having a little pride in the United States would be a good thing. You know what is happening? I don't know if this is true or not, but I've seen it, so I saw it on Twitter. A lot of people starting to come back. I'm leaving. I'm going to Iran. I'm going to Ireland. I'm going to England. I'm going to wherever. They're all coming back. Wonder why. It's a great country. Bitch, whine, and moan all you want. It's a great country. Cooper Flagg being white, black, green, and purple just drives dudes that couldn't play crazy. Guys that can play, respect it. Guys that couldn't play, even 45 years later, I swear to God. I know people will make fun of this, but it's the way it is. Cooper Flagg being white has nothing to do with him being drafted by Dallas. Cooper Flagg is, in my opinion, since Magic Johnson, again, just my opinion, the best prospect I've seen as a freshman, true freshman, in college basketball. So you draft him first. Speaking of ESPN, Ramona Shelburne is trying so hard. Good for Ramona Shelburne. She really pissed off Denver Nuggets forward Aaron Gordon, along with Russell Westbrook's wife, Nina, with a slanderous hit piece she wrote detailing a tense situation in the Nuggets locker room following the loss to the Thunder. That's why reporters shouldn't be in locker rooms. They shouldn't be. I mean, reporters don't know their ass from third base. I mean, Ramona Shelburne never been in a locker room, never played, never nothing. The fat-ass lady that decided she's going into a locker room and now she has all the answers. She doesn't know her ass from third base in there. I don't give a damn how many years she's been reporting. If you do, you know that things are said and done in locker rooms and then forgotten by the next evening. It's why we all, as athletes or coaches, have the great American penis. Because we can bitch, whine, and yell that would be offensive to a Ramona Shelburnes of the world. And the next thing you know, everything's fine. Now, the Ramona Shelburnes of the world are going to say, well, I understand it. No, you don't. No, you don't. No. When asked about Game 5 on Tuesday, Gordon instead used a mic to blast Shelburne and her asinine article. Minutes after the Nuggets lost Game 2 of their first-round series against the Clippers, Adelman had a problem. While he had been at the post-game lectern, there had been a heated discussion between Westbrook and Gordon in the locker room. Multiple sources told ESPN. Gordon had challenged Westbrook about his attitude. So what? Happens every day. Happens every single day on competitive teams, particularly a Game 4, Game 3, whatever game it was. I mean, so what? Outside the locker room, one player relayed why Gordon might have done it. He's so immature. He said of Westbrook, so what? He's heated. I mean, what are we going to do now? Let these freaking reporters, these fat-ass adults, men and women, in the locker rooms and report on every word they hear? I mean, that is so unfair to players. It's so ridiculous to players. Why are we backing up for reporters? Like, Bob Knight hated the media, but I'll tell you one thing he did, and we all hated it. He let these jackasses in our locker room after the game. Finally, he didn't. Finally, they went to a press conference. But these assholes would be in our locker room, and everybody, you had to put towels on. You knew a couple of these idiots were gawking. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was asinine. You couldn't be yourself after a game. Think about this, particularly in college. You know, you bust your ass. Let's say you play Thursday, Saturday. You bust your ass. Play Thursday. Bust your ass. Play Saturday. You win Saturday. It's like your day off. You don't play Sunday. And you got and you can't even enjoy it because you got assholes like Ramona Shelburne coming in the locker room. No, it's ridiculous. And then if she's not in the locker room, hey, what'd they say in the locker room? See, that teammate should be strung up. That teammate should be tied and put glue on him or whatever they did in fraternities, right? Charles Barkley was talking about fraternities. Put honey on him and put ants on him. I don't know. Whatever they did. I don't know. Why are you talking, teammate? It's the locker room. Here's Aaron Gordon talking about Shelburne.
Aaron, you know this team and you know the character of this team. Can you win 2 in a row against that team?
Absolutely. But it got to start with 1 at home. But really, I don't feel like talking about the game. Earlier, I caught wind of an article that came out about Russell Westbrook in our locker room after Game 2, which was a completely arbitrary article and pointless and unnecessary by whoever it was that put it out. Russ is one of the most talented basketball players that has ever played the game of basketball. And quite frankly, he's been great for us all year long. We're brothers. We spend more time with our team than we do with our own family. Of course, there's going to be disagreements. But that conversation wasn't for anybody other than our own group and the internal workings of our locker room. So that article is just so arbitrary and so far from the truth. Russ has been amazing for us. And not only is he a great basketball player, but he's an even better human being. And he's going to continue to be great for us, and he's going to make a huge impact, and he's going to help us win these next 2 games. And that's all I got to say, guys.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. But these little weasels, they got to get in locker rooms, and we got to see what's going on. Oh, shut up. Hey, but I'll tell you this. Russ was pretty good. I don't know if he was pretty good yesterday, but I do know this. He made a big bucket late. You know, when most were going to start, he went to the rim, basically closed it out last night. It's pretty good. This is from Nina Westbrook, Russ's wife, at Ramona Shelburne. Dirty work, Ramona. How could you share and spread so many lies randomly for no reason and with so much conviction? You're using his name for clickbait during the playoffs, which is ridiculous. Trust me, I know the facts about literally everything. Normally, I let you guys tell your city lies in peace. Enough already. Stop with the lies. Yeah, I mean, you just look at these folks like Ramona Shelburne and others, and you just know what they are. You do. You just know. And, frankly, It's just sad. It's not even sad. I honestly don't care. I'm just tired of it. Just tired of all the bullshit people writing bullshit pieces that have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I don't understand why Trevor Bauer is blackballed from Major League Baseball. I really don't. I mean, no charges, cleared of everything. The girl ended up being a liar. He's been exiled and blackballed. Took the league to the woodshed in the wake of the Pete Rose being removed from the permanently banned list that excluded him from being eligible for Hall of Fame voting. Since 2022, Bauer's been out of the league when Lindsey Hill accused him of sexual assault. Those allegations have been settled, no charge ever brought. Interestingly, Hill was arrested for assaulting first responders in a separate, unrelated incident. I think Trevor Bauer got a bad deal here. So here's Bauer on Twitter. So since Pete is welcome back now, does that go for everybody who has been blackballed? Or do you actually have to be guilty of something to qualify for that? Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, one team told us it's not their decision. It's Major League Baseball decision. One team told me I was too expensive, even though I offered to play for the minimum. Another team told us they have covered some stuff up in the past that they don't want the media digging into to find out about. There's absolutely zero belief that my stuff wouldn't succeed in the league. Every team we talked to says I'd be in there one or two in their rotation. Here's our friend Chris Mad Dog Russo exploding over this situation.
If anybody, and this goes to John Dowd, whose Moby Dick is Pete Rose, if anybody thinks that what Rose did is equal to what the 1919 Black Sox did, you need your head examined. And how many times have you heard Jim Cott on this show, John Franco on this show, who Cott was the pitching coach, Franco was his ace in the bullpen. How many times have they told us on this show that I was with Pete when he was a manager, I pitched for Pete? Never once did I ever think there was something hanky-panky going on with using bullpen guys or leading starting pitchers in the game longer for his bet. Never once. The White Sox lost the World Series on purpose. Rose tried too hard. Now, did he have a gambling problem? We all know that. Is he a bad guy? We all know that. Should he have gambled? Absolutely not. But 35 years? Really? And then baseball is going to, hang on to the fact, well, he can't hurt the legacy anymore because he's dead? What do you mean you can't hurt the legacy? Of course you can hurt the legacy. What's Lincoln's legacy? He saved the country. He's alive. He's dead. My God almighty. This holier-than-thou nonsense. And this is a sport that I love, that I spent my freaking last 12 years doing 2,400 shows. And I don't like to support Rose. We all know what he was like, and I had him in the studio for 2 hours 5 years ago. And that's when Rose told us the story about the whole thing with the kid. And say what you want about Rose. You want to kill him until the cows come home, I'm all for it. Go ahead and kill him. And the times they've used Rose to make money, it's disgraceful. Baseball should be embarrassed. They really should. They could have been done with this 5 years ago. 10 years ago, they could have been done with this. You know what, guys? It's 25, 30 years. Let's let him in. Let's make him eligible. It's not going to be a manager. Let's make him eligible so at least he can have a day in Cooperstown. Baseball couldn't do that and let Pete be at Cooperstown and have a day. They couldn't do that. All this other crap's in Cooperstown. They couldn't give Rose a chance to do that. And now I got that Jane Clark who never heard of Babe Ruth. I got that Jane Clark sitting there telling me, well, we'll let you know in December of 2027. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
You don't want to hear that nonsense. Here's, the other side of it is the lifetime ban. His lifetime is over. What can I tell you? Yeah, his life is over. That's what I'm saying. I mean, hey, by the way, Joe Kinsey, our friend Joe Kinsey, had boots on the ground in the Red Sox, White Sox game in Cincinnati. And based off the content he captured, seems like Red fans love the fact that Pete Rose now maybe will get in the Hall of Fame. Here's Jersey Joe.
Hey, the legend lives on.
What about Rob Manfred? You got any message to him?
A little too late to do the right thing.
Oh, that's deep. I mean, what kind of maniac dresses like that? I can't wait to ask Joe Kinsey about that. Here's the Pete Rose shirt jersey Red fans are going to get tonight. There it is. All right. My Pete Rose trip wouldn't complete, but I'll throw in a few bucks on, of course, the Reds to win tonight. All right. There you go. Hey, Davey, Pete Rose. There you go. What do you think? Pete Rose, Hall of Fame. Will he make it? Will he not make it? Is this a big deal? Is Mad Dog right? Should they have done it years ago? Where's everybody at on this bad boy?
Dan, if you were going to do it, I would have definitely done it years ago. But I don't want to see Pete in the Hall of Fame simply based off how this was. I think we've talked before. The idea of changing your entire mentality and approach to someone just because they have died, I don't get that.
But wait, what about the idea that lifetime ban? He doesn't have a lifetime anymore.
No. I'm with you. We talked about that the other day as well. It makes sense. I think it's clever to use that as an approach. But if you're a Major League Baseball voter for the Hall, I'm not changing my opinion now just because Manfred says you can do this.
I wonder how many people, though, did this. I wonder how many people looked at it and said, you know what, I'm not even thinking about voting for him because he's not eligible. And now that he is eligible, people may look down and go, okay, I see him on this sheet. He is eligible. All right. You know what I mean? Like if I were voting for a Hall of Fame and a guy wasn't eligible, I wouldn't even think about voting for him. Now I think I would think about at least voting for him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, if he's eligible for the ballot, I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I did not put everything into account and at least consider him. I just don't see the way Major League Baseball Hall of Fame voters usually take the approach. I don't see them going and with the way the steroid era works. I just don't think they're going to change their opinion.
I don't either. No, I don't either. I really don't either. I don't think they're going to change their opinion. I don't. I think they will, for a while, stay all, hey, this is what we're going to do. I do. I think they'll stay. I don't know if the right word is true to not voting for him. Do you think, let's just look at it 5-10 years down the line. You think he gets in 5-10 years down the line?
I think he'll eventually get in. It's one of those things, as time passes, people usually ease up on stuff. I mean, that's the situation we're dealing with right now. It's like, okay, enough time's passed. The guy's no longer with us. All right, we'll throw people a bone because they've been adamant they want him eligible for years and years.
I do too. I do too. I think eventually, I don't think this year, next year, but I do think, I don't know, 2030, whatever it is. I don't know. I do. I'm with you. I think he gets in.
I can't remember. It's either 2027 or 2028 will be the first year he's eligible on the ballot. So we still got a couple of years there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. We still got to wait just a couple more years.
All right. Yeah, I think by 30. I think by 30, he 30, 32, something like that. I hope I'm alive. I don't really give a shit, but it's an interesting see, in the state of Indiana, we don't have baseball. So doing talk radio over the last 16, 17 years, the two things that if you're born on a day you would bring up were, should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame and should Bob Knight go back to Indiana? So anyway, our friend Gary says, by the way, it's a Veterans Committee. Yeah, that's right, not the writers. That's right. So, hey, look, I don't know. All I know is this. My way of looking at it, I don't think you should get in a Hall of Fame if you gambled on a sport. It's very clear. It's right there. It's just, hey, they tell you don't do it. They tell you what the consequences are. You prove that you did it. Move it along. According to a forthcoming book, Caleb Williams, the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, who is so freaking overhyped. Like, I would like to see him do something really good. I'd like to see him lead the Bears to a playoff at minimum, anything. But anyway, Caleb Williams and his family thought about and attempted everything they could to seek a way around being drafted by the Chicago Bears. And their reasoning is right. Their reasoning of quarterback goes to die in Chicago. I mean, damn. I think Sid Luckman, and I was way not born when Sid Luckman was getting it done. He still got records in an era where every pass, every down. But anyway, Bears fans don't want to hear it, but who cares? I mean, it was an okay season by Caleb Williams. It wasn't great. But he is supposed to be a generational talent. Here it is. Carl Williams was worried that with the franchise's history, stadium uncertainty, offensive performances under then head coach Matt Eberflus, Caleb Williams wouldn't have the organizational support to succeed. I tried to tell the Chicago media, I did tell the Chicago media, Waddle and Sylvie, and I tried to tell Chicago, don't hire Eberflus. Colts were firing Eberflus, looking for a way around the league's collective bargaining agreement. Carl Williams spoke with Archie Manning, who helped Eli assert a measure of control over his eventual team in 2004. He also met with labor lawyers and agents and even considered whether his son could sign with the UFL and become an unrestricted free agent in 2025 to be able to pick his own team. I don't blame him. Look, the field they play on is ran by the Parks Department, and even that field is horrible. The lines are jaggedy. Think about guys that work for the Parks Department and the pride they would have as opposed to guys that are paid by the team to keep the field beautiful, which is what every other NFL team does. Parks Department dudes are like, yo, I work for the Parks Department. I don't give a damn. I'm on the field. Look at me. And while they're waving, they're giving jaggedy lines. Just look at the video. In addition to the draft process, Carl Williams vented about the rookie wage scale. Yeah, shut up. Which could lock his son into the team that drafted him for up to 8 years. He calculated hundreds of millions of lost value. Yeah, shut up, Carl Williams. I don't care about that. It is. Then go play in the UFL. Go play in the WNBA. Say you're a girl. Go play in the WNBA. Dominate it if you're worried about the money part of it. But stop. Stop it. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm not loving this, but I also don't care about this. Now I've had enough. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Hey, it appears all the constant bashing of Mel Kiper after his love affair with Shedeur Sanders dominated the NFL draft storylines. Apparently it's starting to get to Mel. Mel's firing back at Miami head coach Mario Cristobal after Cristobal claimed he spoke to 1 million people about his quarterback, but not Mel. Here, Miami's Mario Cristobal said he spoke to 1 million people about the number 1 NFL draft pick, Cam Ward, except Mel. I can't recall many NFL teams or TV people I didn't speak to. However, Cristobal and Shannon Dawson, the OC, never spoke with Mel. Mel was criticized for overshadowing Ward's moment with his nonstop Colorado quarterback, Shedeur Sanders narrative. Never heard from him, Cristobal said. I don't think I ever talked to him. Cristobal added he wasn't disappointed by Kiper ignoring Ward. The only reason I'd be disappointed was if Cam was. He said, but knowing Cam, he just wanted to hear the name and exactly where he was going and get to work. Mel wasn't taking this. Mario Cristobal claims he spoke to 1 million people about Cam Ward, yet the one he didn't speak to being me. That one, I'm going to read this better, had Ward ranked higher, 6th on my big board, than any of the other draft experts. Interesting, isn't it? Oh, by the way, I didn't speak to Dion about Shedeur either. I need another Orange Crush after this nonsense. Much ado about nothing. Much ado. Hey, the Nuggets and Thunder got it done last night. I don't know. I know the guys on TNT who I love said that Jokic was tired. I don't know. Maybe he was. He got a nice tan. But all I know is we got a Game 7 in OKC. How about this? I did bet Jokic to get 30. He got 29. What? Come on, my Serbian brother. Let's get it done. Game 7. Oh, man, OKC's going to be jumping. All right, it's shot clock violation. We got a special one. After shot clock violation, how about our guy Danny Z stood and waited in the halls of Congress to interview AOC, Pelosi, others about the Nike/Joseph Mengele study where they try to impair kids. Yeah, got a lot coming up. Stay right here. I'm feeling good today.